right, FXO.Choya already taking out 3 players, Trimaster, Rise, and Heart, knocking down some of compLexity's best players. FXO.Choya, the red Protoss down in the bottom left of Cloud Kingdom, and the new guy in for compLexity, it's going to be qxc as the blue Terran up in the top right.
So I was actually trying to think of this. Who is actually left of the Korean players on compLexity's lineup?
Gonzi.
Gonzi and Killer, I guess, if they used him in the series. So it's kind of like, you know, basically they're saying they're only going to use one of those guys left.
That's a good point, actually. qxc is their 4th player in, so Killer or Gonzi still available, but not both. So actually a lot of faith put into qxc here. Didn't actually think about that. That's a good point, though. And Choya being on a rampage already, this could be a scary prospect. He's already taken out 2 Terran players, too.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. You know, we've talked about it when we've casted together, and we've obviously talked about it when Kevin Key cast. When you put in a Terran player, when you just had Choya beat a Terran player, you know, that's either a player having a lot of confidence in themselves, you know, and seeing something that Choya did that he thinks he can exploit, or just kind of weird. You usually don't want to have someone who, you know, has played a matchup well 2 times already, and then put them in again just hoping that they'll have better luck. You usually want to try something a little bit different just to throw the other player off.
Well, Choya is starting again with that pylon and gateway in base, not doing anything on the low ground, playing some older styles. Actually, we do see a lot of quicker expands recently just across all matchups. But Choya, I gotta say, I mean, the games that he won versus Terran were both kind of weird. He got a great scout on what Heart was doing. Heart had just basically like a 2 racks attack, and Trimaster had the very strange
proxy Hellion drop.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, both of the Terran players so far have done some kind of wonky things. qxc is just incredibly solid. Obviously, qxc does have a lot of builds as well. He is one of those innovators that likes to try all kinds of different stuff. Anytime there's a patch changing, you know, some tiny statistic, he tries to see, you know, what the limits are of that. I've seen him do just crazy stuff with Reapers, very fast attacks with Medivacs as well. Yeah, he's got a lot of looks early game, and obviously he's got really good control and decision making in the middle and late game as well.
Yeah, I live with, you know, we've both lived with Axlev for a while, and qxc is one of the people he practiced with a lot. qxc, according to Axlev, has actually gotten a little bit away from that drop style he was used to, and now does a lot of, you know, more macro 3-base oriented play to try to diversify. Cloud Kingdom is very, very good for that 2-base drop play, though, because of how big the base is, you know, the different angles. So we might see a little bit of that out of him this game.
Yeah, qxc actually getting a good scout all the way across Choya's base, nothing hidden at all. Everything is where it's supposed to be. This first Stalker is going to pop out, but this SCV safely gets away. qxc did build a barracks in a kind of weird spot again, not quite as odd as the one we saw from Heart.
There's weird building placements for compLexity today.
Yeah, just hiding some barracks. I mean, if the Stalker or Probe does come in again, he's going to try and get to the main base normally. So having a barracks down below the mineral like that is a good way to hide it. This is the only choke here for entry into the natural or the main. So if you hide it kind of here, yeah, that's a decent spot. But
oh wow, it looks like Choya is going for Twilight on 1 base. So
interesting.
Twilight for the 2nd time, and I can't imagine this would be anything but either a DT expand or some kind of blink all in, because that's very, very weird to do that on 1 base. I mean, he did go double gas too. Okay, so yeah, Nexus, and I'm assuming it'll be Dark Shrine after this.
I don't know. 1-base Dark Shrine is still,
yeah, there
oh my
it is.
Goodness, that's
so DT
crazy.
expand, man. He is going the DT expands today, and that's actually relatively safe as long as he can battle off some of these Marines, because then he's going to keep qxc in his base. Oh wow, he doesn't even started building a Stalker till just now.
No, he has a Stalker somewhere.
There it is.
Yeah, it's on the ramp. Okay, because I remember it came out right as the SCV was leaving. But some of these probes are certainly going to die. The Marines are content to shoot at the probes rather than trying to finish off that Stalker. Stalker with a nice 4 kills there. A few more Marines showing up now, though. He's not going to let off. He realizes Choya is doing something something tricksy here. He's going to try and force this Nexus to cancel or kill it off. He realized there was only 1 Stalker there.
Oh, so wow. Very smart qxc. He built an engineering bay, because there's pretty much only one thing that could be when you have so few units.
And yeah, so few units and no pylon on the low ground or anything like that. No forage visible, anything like that. So it's a very small amount of builds that this could be. qxc is actually going to continue the pressure. Lots of Marines and actually SCV coming along around as well to try and drop some bunkers perhaps. His command center is going to be finished at his natural here soon, too. The micro battle going on here obviously is going to favor Choya with a little bit longer range and a little bit stronger units. Obviously, shield regeneration.
I think QXC overextended a bit there. I mean, there was no way he's going to kill that Nexus, and there wasn't even really a chance he was going to kill the Stalkers. And now he does have a missile turret going up, but he lost probably a little bit more than he needed to there.
He killed 4 workers, so that's going to be a nice advantage. Kind of erases the benefit of Chrono Boost that Protoss players get inherently. There is one DT on the map. I think it's going to be walking through the middle. There he is, actually. Finally, the last red dot that I check out. Is there a turret up? Yes, there actually is.
However, he could probably run by that. There's enough space and not that many units there.
I don't know.
No, I mean, he would get hit going by, but I don't actually think the DT would get killed just from 4 Marines.
Well, if he sees it soon, yeah, he could actually, and there's a 5th Marine there, he could actually follow it out as well. So it is possible that he would score the kill. And he's got 2 orbital commands for scans, even though, well, neither of them have any energy. Perhaps Choya could have got some SCV kills, but now he will never know.
Nope.
Because he did not try it. Robotics facility, I mean, obviously QXC is aware there's DTs now because he just shot at one, so might as well try and get some damage done. Robotics facility is coming up now for Choya, though.
Yeah, and oh wow, 3rd Nexus from Choya. That is really early, and I don't know if QXC, I mean, he could scout it, but he doesn't have any scouts on the map. Choya has both watchtowers with DTs. He's going to be very weary of just kind of wandering out without having a plan. I don't know if QXC is going to scout this for quite some time.
That's a good point. I mean, he might actually have to, I mean, obviously he's not going to want to use a scan to try and find a random third base, so it is possible that QXC could go a long time without knowing about it. He is getting up his first factory here, and that well, not his first factory, sorry, his first add-on with the factory, Starport, coming up right next to it. Obviously, if he didn't have a factory, he couldn't build a Starport.
And actually, while that's going on, Choya just got a warp prism, so he's actually going to try to force his way in there. I just saw it finish from the robo, but yeah, there it is.
There we go.
So he's actually going to do a DT drop into the main, and if QXC is still going all out with those mules and not saving scan energy...
No turrets here. Oh, there's
one turret, but you know, there's still a lot of the base uncovered, and Choya could find a lot of weak points there.
Yeah, QXC does have a ton of Marines, actually, 16 kind of spread between these 2 bases.
All right, he's going to see the Warp Prism, but there's not a lot he can really do about these supply depots going down.
That's true. He's actually not even going to focus the depots. He's going to head in there and try to do some damage to the SCVs. Obviously, that turret is still standing, and Choya is going to split up. There is actually a DT still on the right side as well.
Warp Prism?
Nope, not going to score that kill, so he knows that the DT is here. Obviously, drops the scan to get as much coverage as he can.
Ooh, very smart.
Doesn't
going
actually
for the
see
tech
the DT,
lab.
though.
Wow, and that actually got combat shield before it finished.
Ouch. So DT actually doing a lot of good tech damage there. He's going to continue just being annoying, trying to take out another add-on as well. There is, what is that, a scouting factory for QXC?
Yeah, so the factory will see the 3rd, but at the same time, Choya is getting charge and 4 more gateways. So Choya is gearing up for a really big push in a little bit.
Yeah, and he's actually still attacking with another DT. This is the 3rd one that was hiding a little bit earlier on, and he's returned to try and take out a depot as well. There's probably not any scan energy for a while. 20 energy on that one, 41 on this one, so he's actually going to be able to hack through some of these Marines. I'm surprised he's letting this happen.
Yeah, that's a big mistake by him. He's just kind of faking the scan.
Because he knew he was going to get blocked. He couldn't afford that.
He's just kind of faking the scan, hoping that the DT would run away, and now with that last scan, he's going to kill the last DT. But good damage done by Choya there.
He actually did not get all the way to the 3rd base. He could probably guess it, though, since these units did come from the right side.
Yeah, and at this point, now he knows he's behind, and he's going to have to do some damage. Now down a whole base. His army, I think, is a little bit bigger than Choya's, but not by much, and not for very long, considering the economy that Choya has going.
Yeah, 15 more harvesters for Choya. That means QXC's army is actually considerably bigger in supply, so we'll see actually how this is going to work out. Medevacs are going to rush over here and try to pick up those units. They're not going to make it in time. 1 Marine and 1 Marauder do get pinned in there. Does he have the range?
No, he does not, and he hasn't started it. He only built 1 Colossus. This is a complete fake. QXC is building Vikings, and he's probably going to keep building Vikings, but he has no intention of making any more Colossus. He's switching completely over to charge-archon. Very, very smart by Choya.
Yep, we'll see how QXC actually deals with this. He sees the glimmer before losing any units. Nice reaction there from QXC. Choya has pulled ahead in supply now after those little skirmishes. Templar Archive coming up now for Choya as well, so Storm is going to be hitting the field soon.
Yeah, and he already has Archons because of the Dark Shrine. And look, QXC still making Vikings for the one Colossus without range, and the charge is going to decimate his army.
That's right. We've got Charge coming up now. Choya sitting at 0-0 upgrades still on his bio, or on his tier 1 units, though, while QXC's upgrades are sitting at 1-1. We do see a bit of an engagement. The Colossus is most likely going to get focused down by these Vikings. There are 3 in the air now, so they can chase. QXC does have stim, obviously, as well, and a handful of medevacs to be able to negate that stim damage a little bit. Scan goes down. Notice how he always does the scans kind of away from where he knows the DT is, just in case any other ones are kind of on the fringe there. You don't actually have to scan directly on top. Charge lot's coming in. Finally, there is another DT on the ground. He doesn't have any more scans to be able to deal with that. There is no Colossus anymore. I think the Vikings must have actually finally finished that off, but QXC does pick a very good escape route, actually, and gets away with a lot of units still intact.
I would really like to see QXC build a Ghost Academy or expand again. He does have another orbital that's building, but he is going to need Ghost to deal with the high Templar that are now coming. I'm glad he's not building any more Vikings now that he realized that was kind of like a fake Colossus build. But he needs to do something else now because Choya still has a pretty good grip economically on this game.
Choya just got his +1 armor kicked in and is going for +2 armor rather than weapons. Blink is on the way now finally, and 4 more gateways are being added on. But check this out. Choya thought he knew where the bulk of QXC's army was, but he's been producing more this whole time to come and try and take out this Nexus. I don't think he can really focus on that anymore. He's going to try to escape. One force field does go down. Ooh, yeah. Getting a lot of nice kills there for Choya. QXC is going to eventually escape. He does have these medevacs still full of units, though, so we'll see if he tries to use this divide and conquer method. He has already got a drop selected.
Choya actually sees it coming. He's moving his army back over to his natural, thinking this is coming. He's right. He sees the 3rd going down with the DT as well.
Oh, I thought the DT was under that.
Oh, that would have been very smart. But feedbacks go down. They don't actually kill them, though, but now QXC has to be really careful. He's got to get out of there. Another feedback and another medevac, but it was low enough energy that it didn't actually die.
Man, yeah, he didn't actually hit all 4 medevacs. He hit the same ones twice, I think. Yeah, because that 3rd one just got hit at the end, and this one actually still with plenty of energy and health did not get hit by that. But that's okay. Looks like the DT was taken care of with another scan. He's up to 3 orbitals now and building a turret there. Great decision, obviously. Yeah, that turret's still standing at the natural as well. He does have quite a lot of units. I mean, he's still got a ton of bio. He's got those Vikings that we talked about earlier. He's going to go ahead and carpet bomb these guys back on the ground and get everything formed up back once more. Let's look at the unit count. 56 probes against 56 SCVs.
Wow.
31 workers killed by QXC.
Yeah, really caught up to that game in the game with that assault on the 3rd, you know, killing a lot of probes and doing damage to the Nexus. That really got him back into the game. And now he's finally getting the Ghost to deal with his army. He's really going to need that. And Choya is going to have to eventually transition back into Colossus because once enough Ghosts come out, he's going to need a lot more than 4 High Templar to deal with that.
Yep, we'll go back into production to see how everything's doing. +3 weapons on the way for QXC. He's just sending Marines kind of to different bases to make sure Choya's not expanding without him knowing about it. Extended thermal lances are being researched now, so maybe he'll dip right back into that Colossus tech. He's getting +3 armor now as well.
And a 4th base.
And that 4th base.
Yeah.
Yep.
So shaping up to be what could be a very long game from here, unless there's just kind of like a... Wow, he just keeps sending.
They just keep going one at a time to their death. Look, here's another one. Oh, it's a Ghost, actually, this time. But that's still not any better.
Is he rallied on the watchtower?
Yeah.
That's kind of a big mistake. He just gave a Ghost for free.
Poor little Ghost. DT's laughing to himself.
Aha.
Oh, here we go. Stim and scan.
DT's
but he's still gonna get still gonna get a couple of rings.
Oh man.
Oh, so Choya actually making good use out of those DTs even toward the mid game here. We're about 20 minutes in. Choya's gonna be on 4 bases here soon. QXC doesn't actually seem to have any expansion. Oh, there he is. Another command center in the works, so he does have expansion plans at least. Sensor tower going up now as well, so of course very helpful. But QXC's on the move. Gonna drop that scan instead of an EMP, saving EMP for the big encounter. I like that. He does have a couple of ghosts mixed in here. I think two ghosts.
Still, that's a lot of Vikings for no Colossus. He's building one Colossus now. And see, there's only two. Oh, wow. Oh, great storms. Kills almost everything. Something's so low. The medevacs are low as well.
Yeah.
And I think Choya's going to take this chance to go in.
Choya's up by, or was up by about 20 supply. Obviously, a round of 8 more Marines in the works here, but we do have lots of EMPs splashing down. We've got Archons just drilling through these bio units. Charge
oh, wow, and the
doing a great
medevacs
job.
Go down too.
Yeah, there's very few units actually left here for QXC. Choya could use this opportunity to break down these rocks. He's sitting at a 60 supply advantage. Wow, is Choya going to get a 4th kill here?
That's crazy. And now, if nothing really stopping him from going into the 3rd base, the destructible rocks are already gone. He's going to make his way up here. And I don't know if QXC can hold this off.
This is going to be very close. Obviously, the upgrades are very good for QXC, sitting at 3-2. Choya only at 1-2. So they have same armor, but way better attacks for QXC. Obviously, Stim does a ton of DPS as well. These medevacs are still staying alive a bit. There's not that much anti-air, but the storm going down, hurting everything that QXC still has. And this orbital command is no way to survive.
All those SCVs down too. That orbital is going to go down. He has
Landed
one left.
Vikings.
Landed Vikings harassed, but that's not going to do nearly enough. 3rd base now down for QXC. Down to only 89 supply.
Man, I can't believe Choya actually lost a lot of supply there as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think a lot of that was the landed Vikings killing those probes.
Yeah, there was a big trade-off. Actually, 21 workers. It was only 3 not too long ago, where Choya had only killed 3 of QXC's workers. But QXC does have another base landed over here.
Making it a planetary.
Making a planetary, probably a good decision, because Choya's attacking with. I mean, he had a superior force there, but it's still not a massive one.
Has Choya not seen that 4th base?
No, I don't think so. He just landed it over there. QXC did so. No, he has not scouted it yet. QXC is still, of course, making tons of bio. He's still cranking out some ghosts as well. He's got 4 of them in the mix right now, saving up energy for EMP. EMP can obviously still do a ton of damage. Like, it's essentially splash damage. It's almost like a storm when you're facing Protoss, because it just strips that shield away so quickly. And Archons only have 10 HP without their shield. Obviously, Immortals
great storm.
Are a lot more exposed without their shields as well. But Choya's just marching through here, not even destroying the destructible rocks. He's just going to keep making his way in here. Only 4 Vikings left, but they are going to be able to take out that Colossus. GG from QXC. And Choya has 4 killed so far.
Well done by Choya there. That was a really well played. That was just kind of out macroed, outplayed. Choya did very, very well.